The biggest news, I guess, basically for the MMA world is Endeavour, who owns the UFC. They're doing a deal with WWE, and then I guess they're teaming them up to create a new company that's going to be publicly traded. Dude, so it's going to be worth a shit ton.
UFC, the lines are going to get a little blurry. If you're a hardcore fan, you liked, the old UFC days, the UFC 99s and 100s, those days are gone. We're getting closer to the weird matrix where WWE and this UFC world slowly combining. They've already crossed paths a little bit, and it makes sense because Dana White. Don't get me wrong; he deserves everything he's earned there with the UFC. But his business plan, it's not like he invented the iPhone. His business plan is the exact same as Vince McMahon's. They were the first to do it, so he's taking a page out of their book. Anything you see WWE does, the UFC does. So for Endeavour, who owns the UFC, to be like, well, why don't we buy the big dog? So the deal transaction values UFC at.
That's the crazy part too.
Hold up here.
Mm-hmm.
The deal transaction values UFC at $12.1 billion, an impressive increase over $4 billion Endeavour paid for the promotion in 2016. But the WWE is valued at $9.3 billion. You're telling me UFC is more valuable than WWE?
According to this, yes.
What?
It's insane, right? Who's doing the valuation? I think once they do this purchase, they have to show the stats of whatever the values are. So that's when it was, that's when this news came out that it was actually valued at.
Here's where it gets dicey. Here's where it gets really dicey. So, explain this. In 2016, the UFC was purchased for what, $8 billion or some shit like that?
No, four.
So $4 billion, they're worth $12 billion now. So that's $8 more billion that they're worth. Have you seen a huge increase in fighter pay?
No, that's the problem.
So if I'm the fighter, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. I beat this dead horse so many times. If you're an agent and you have a roster of badasses and you read this news and go, the UFC's worth $8 more billion when we signed our contract 4 years ago. Hey man, pay us more money. What leg does the UFC have to stand on? What argument do they have where they're like, we just can't? Why not? Don't want to? It's like, what's what argument is there if you're a fighter and you listen to this? Ask your manager, agent, hey man, why can't we get more money? I would love an explanation of why you can't. Now, if you say it's the market value, exactly. It's the market value. They've gone up $8 billion. And if they go, well, your pay from the last time you signed has gone up 10%. No, I get that, but that's 10% of 80 grand, so I'm making whatever, 88,000 now. They've gone up how many times? $8 more billion, and you're giving me a 10% raise? Or how about, see, this, it's good and bad this is coming to light, because also the UFC per fight for bonuses is $50,000. It used to be $100,000. They've gone lower, and they've made more. Everyone's cool with this? We're all okay with this? Yeah, you're not going to do shit. You ain't going to do shit. You know that cold boat in your phone is terrible? We ain't doing shit. We all use iPhones. You ain't doing shit. Find out that cold boat fucking battery in your Tesla's horrible for people. It's slave labor. You ain't doing shit. The UFCs are getting paid pennies. The fighters are getting paid pennies. Now for WME, for for Endeavour, I mean, dude, there's just it's dicey. It gets dicey. I know I keep saying dicey this episode. Because it is. It gets dicey because the owners of the UFC, which is a legit sports organization, also owns the WWE, which, listen, it's hard work. I get it, but it's not real sports. It's just, but to blur those lines is already for the common fan who's not huge into the UFC and kind of knows about WWE, and you mix those, it makes the water even murky, And here you have, Ronda Rousey's over there. You have Brock over there. Now, how much easier? You don't think Brock's going to fight John Jones after this deal? You don't think Brock Lesnar's going to mosey on over? And now Endeavour owns both of them. Easy deal to get done. Easy deal to get done. Also, Vince McMahon, shave your mustache. Shave it right now. Shave your mustache and do less TRT right now, sir. Go to him. He looks like Wario.
Is it that one right there?
Yeah.
Oh
dude,
my gosh.
Look at that. That's me.
I didn't know that.
20 years. I'm slowly morphing into that. But my ears won't be that big because of my cauliflower. I'm slowly morphing into that. That's Broadway's live action Wario. If Super Mario's was on Broadway, that's Wario. How about this, dude? Think of the current climate we're in. You know me, I'm all against the cancel culture. I don't like any of that shit. But what's it tell you? If you're big enough, you're powerful enough, and good for them. They've earned every bit of it. And I'm not saying any action should be taken. I'm just saying, how weird is it that there's been people accused of way less who lost their careers, got fucked over. There's video of Dana assaulting his wife. There's endless accounts and witnesses, and the guy had to step down from his position as the chairman of WWE. There's tons of evidence, legit evidence. But then I have friends who've been canceled for way less. These men have gotten bigger. They've made more money. Endeavour owns Hollywood. So Hollywood wants to sit on their high horse and say, this guy can't perform here, or this guy can't be in this movie. But these two are okay. Fuck you. They've gotten bigger, dude. That's how weird Hollywood is. How strange is that? Like, legit, anybody else is royally fucked, eating cup of noodles every night, jacking off The Undertaker if you're Vince McMahon, and you're not Vince McMahon. You know what I'm saying? If you look like Wario and you didn't have that power, you're jacking off the Mankind old reruns. Not him. He sold his company for whatever it was, $6 billion. And he's still going to be the face of it. Dana's gotten bigger. And I'm not saying they should do anything to these men. I don't know enough about it. What I'm saying is if you're going to keep that energy with certain people, keep it across the board. Don't be so wishy-washy, because these guys have a lot of money. That's all I'm saying. It's very strange to me. That's Hollywood in a nutshell. What else you got, Jen? Vince, I know you're a huge fan of the show. Shave that mustache and stop dyeing your eyebrows, dude. Stop dyeing your eyebrows, especially you're worth whatever billions of dollars. You don't have to do that, man. There's not enough people around him go, don't dye the eyebrows. The mustache, if you have to shave down, don't do that. Unless you're Michael Jordan, you can't do that, dude. You can't do that.